Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and also just had an amazing weekend of MilSim. I cannot tell you how much fun Operation Uprising was. Hands down, if you guys didn't go, I know I've been like plugging it heavy, and this is like my buddy's game. I mean, I'm not even getting paid to plug this thing. It was worth every penny. It was only $60 to go. I mean, if you guys missed it, definitely pay attention. Look for Operation Uprising 3 or any other games that are going on there at Hill 559. It was incredible. 24 hours of airsoft out in the field, brought your camping gear out, grilling out, cooking out, having to do patrols late at night. Amazing. Stay tuned. I'm going to actually start getting gameplay up this week from it. No more delays and gameplay coming out like 6 months later. This coming up this week. So stay tuned on Friday. You'll get the first of the gameplay series. I am so excited to get this to you guys. I hate to say it, but you really did miss out. But enough of me bragging about all that. Oh, I want to show you something real quick. Let me lean over here and pick them up. Don't forget, Airsoftology patches, guys. It really helps the show out. And plus, you get some pretty cool PVC patches. At $10 each, you can pick them up in the store. And they're shipped anywhere in the world for that price. There's no extra shipping. It's all included. So enough of me talking about the game, which was fun. Did I tell you it was fun? I think it was fun. Let's dive on into what you're really here for, and that is your questions. Tyler Nutter writes, "Hey Jonathan, my question is about saw platforms. It sounds like they work okay out of the box, but require a lot of modifications to make them worth how heavy they are. I'm planning going to a MilSim event with some friends, and that'd be the role I would play. Is it worth it, and what should I upgrade first?" So yes, absolutely, you're going to want to throw an upgrade on this thing. Saws are, aside from just giving you the extra firepower, which, let me take a step back before we get to the upgrades. In MilSim games, typically you're stuck shooting semi-auto, but a saw gunner can run full auto. So that gives you an incredible advantage right out of the box. And you usually get a higher FPS limit. In most MilSim events, you're looking at 450 feet per second measured with a .20 gram BB versus 400 for most just standard rifleman rolls. So definitely take advantage of that. Don't miss out the fact that you can do it. At 450, depending on the saw you get, if you get a really good brand one, you should be able to throw a spring in there and be okay. You're not gonna like a crazy rate of fire, but you should be all right. If you want to build it up, I would do it. You're looking probably a set of gears, maybe a new hop-up bucking, something that can hold up to that sustained fire, and just throw all that on there. Maybe a little better battery. I don't know what you guys are running right now with your battery you're thinking about, but you probably want to pick up something in that LiPo range to maybe beef that rate of fire up with that 450 spring. Maybe some torqueier gears is going to bring that rate of fire down. But yeah, having it is a massive advantage, and it is definitely worth the wait. I will tell you right now, to carry one of those things around, you're going to really help your squad out. But yeah, out of the box, they're good, upgraded, they are awesome. And if you buy a good one, like, you know, some of the new Classic Army ones that are coming back around, or if you pick up some of the like RPK, if you're into that from like Echo 1, that's pretty darn solid. Or my favorite is the one made by Classic Army, but it's the Knights Armament LMG. I actually personally have one of those. I bought it. It's kind of my personal collection. You can throw a spring right in that sucker and be good to go. So yeah, good luck and happy sawing. David Thornburg writes, "Hey Mr. Higgs, I don't know if this is a dumb question, but is it bad on an airsoft gun to not play with it for months on end? I've been deployed many times and haven't even touched my Polar Star for over 8 months. Does not touching it hurt the gun?" It doesn't really hurt the gun, but on a Polar Star, I would look at a certain few things. Like, definitely want to look at your O-rings inside the gun, make sure they're still good to go. In fact, at first, right out of the gate, you may have some leaking because they've just sat. They could be dry rotting a little bit, especially after 8 months. So if you get a chance, take it in somewhere, get it tuned up. If you're mechanically inclined, my guess is you probably are. There's some great guides online, like just go in and kind of type online like Polar Star tune-up or Polar Star teardown and rebuild or something like that on YouTube. You should find some pretty good videos out there to walk you through how to take it apart. Find those O-rings, things like that. Maybe throw a little lube on there, a little clean it out if it's just been sitting and all that. I mean, if it's been sitting, you probably need to clean out too much, but definitely some silicone oil will help get those things back to life. But aside from that, you should be good to go. Same thing goes for AEGs. As long as you've left it in the closet with no battery plugged in, you should be totally fine, aside from the fact that the O-ring around the piston head could shrink up a little bit and maybe dry rot there over time. Depends on the length. If it's like 3 or 4, or even 6 months, you're fine. If it's like a year or more, it could be depending. So yeah, just definitely get out there, run it through the paces. I would say start doing some full auto mag dumps with a lower voltage battery to kind of warm it back up a little bit. And then it should kind of stretch that O-ring, get the friction going, warm it up, see if everything seals in, if your FPS is still good to go. Now, one caveat though, on the AEG side, not the Polar Star side, if you've left it where the piston was locked back, so if you didn't complete a full cycle and you kind of left it like full auto, or you fired it, because you always should fire a gun a few times in semi when you're done with it before you put it away. So if you forgot that, you might have compressed the spring and left it compressed and killed the spring. And then if your gun was shooting 400 when you put it away, it might be 330 now. If that's the case, all you need is a new spring, so you can either do it yourself or take it to your local shop and they can do it for you, no problem. Alpha 3690 writes, hey Jonathan, my question for you is there any way you can hire guns, mags, and stuff like that for a MilSim op? I live in Australia, so no airsoft, but I do MilSim over here with laser tag equipment and would love to do that sort of stuff over in the US with airsoft guns. Absolutely. You can actually rent guns from most shops here in the US. What you want to do is kind of coordinate ahead of time and make sure that they're going to have those guns ready for you. Call ahead, let them know, put a little deposit down. They're pretty cheap for the day. For a MilSim op, you're going to need them for the entire weekend. So kind of let them know what you're doing and all that. And then of course you can pick up all the other stuff. As for gear and even for guns, we're pretty friendly over here. You can make some friends there, and I'm sure some people will loan you out some gear. Also, gear is pretty darn cheap over here. So if you need to pick up like a cheap chest rig or something like that to run out there on the field, or just a basic vest, usually you can find those pretty affordable at your local shop, like 30, 40 bucks max for a good rig. Some extra mags, typically they'll rent those for you as well. Or like I said, like we're pretty darn friendly. We'll probably toss you a few extra ones if you ask around on the battlefield, as long as you give them back when you're done. So yeah, man, good luck with that. I would love to see you here in the US to play some airsoft. All right, that's it for questions this week, which means it's time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from a channel called Newsweir. I think I'm going to pronounce that wrong. So if you guys are, I think it's in Sweden or Finland, if you guys are from there, just check it out and let me know if my pronunciation just slaughtered that. But it is about, and I'm looking at my cheat sheet right here, hang on. It is the We Are ISIS Hunters. And this is a pretty neat one. This isn't like action-packed video that I'd like normally give you guys, something really cool. But this one is neat in its own right. It follows kind of the Kurdish Special Forces and what they're doing hunting ISIS in that part of Iraq. Those guys are insane, and it's a really neat kind of 10-minute mini documentary that follows what they're doing and how these guys make huge sacrifices to get it done. I mean, some of these guys haven't been paid in months. I mean, actually not a single paycheck in months, and they've got families at home. They're just doing this to fight for their country. Very cool video, something really neat to watch if you guys, especially if you don't serve, you've never been over in that part of the country. It's absolutely worth the watch. Plus, it's worth it just for those 511 woodland jackets those guys have. I would love to get a hold of one of those. I've never seen one in the shops. If you guys ever seen one of those, let me know. It's pretty darn cool. So guys, check it out. Of course, as always, I'll have a link over to the video in the description below. Well guys, that's it for this week's Mondays, and as always, thank you for being here. And remember, if you want to get your question on the show, it's super simple. Put it in the comment section below, vote up your favorites, and I'll get them on the next show. And guys, I love this time we have here. And by the way, I want to say, like I always say, thank you for the community you guys do down there. I love the fact that you guys are so awesome in the comment section. You guys are so great. You help each other out when I can't answer every question, and that means so much to me. So thank you very much. And until next week, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.